Welcome back to the C Show, a wrestling show for the common fan. Whether you're new to sports entertainment, you're coming back after a while, or you've been here the whole time, I'm Charlie.
I'm Connor.
Oh no,
Jared.
Okay.
Jared. That's the one I am.
That was a little worrisome. Today, on the road to redemption in Montreal, we take a quick stop with Anthony Davis as he pulled some pranks on Darby Allin and Sting, plus Penta getting caught without his mask, and the escalating war of words between the Bang Bang Gang and the Dogs. But first, I'm going to pull a yellow card on Jared as we talk about a foul play.
With the body, that's two.
The body and the blood, or just one or the other?
As the preeminent Catholic wrestling podcast.
I'm a man of faith. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Give me a second. Let me put my notes together. Trust me, this will be worth it, I think. Foul Play with Anthony Davis is a new show, or not that new. I don't know when it started, but it's new to me.
It came out earlier this year.
It came out within the last few months. For those who don't know, Anthony Davis is a 6'10" unibrowed fella who, in college, had some weird things happen to him.
He played for
Kansas, Kentucky.
Right?
Those two are kind of the same, but anyway,
basketball powerhouses.
You know the video I'm talking about with Anthony Davis in the locker room.
I actually do not. I'm just still thinking about his unibrow. The fact that, like, for the longest time he went by the brow, and like that was part of his branding for stuff, was so funny.
I remember this. Yes.
Somehow he has a prank show. Let's get into it. Who doesn't love dogs? They're cute. They're fluffy. They're a man's best friend. So we thought, let's kill one with a pet snake. This is the first...
Allegedly.
Nope. This is the first line out of Mr. Anthony Davis, the Bubble Warrior. And here I was thinking I wouldn't like this show. Yes, he threw up the air quotes when he said kill. But he did say they were going to kill a dog, and that makes me way more worried for what they might do to Darby Allin.
It reminds me of that National Lampoon cover, or the ad from the 70s where they're like, buy the National Lampoon or we'll shoot this dog.
Oh, God. If any of you have any of those old comic books, send them to me. Thank you. But anyway, Darby Allin is not the first target. The first target of today's episode is Chargers starting linebacker Deion Henley. Deion thinks he's appearing at a charity event reuniting people with lost pets. The acting of the pranksters it's tough.
It's limited.
It's tough. Two siblings, one lost a dog, and the other his giant
python.
Yellow python.
So you can kind of see where the ball is rolling here, can't you?
The people who run this fake charity bringing him in to do a promo and do a little video where he will be returning these pets to the children.
My favorite part about the PSA is like he's like explaining how you can incorporate the charity into your will, and your ungrateful children will not see a cent of your the money.
Well, for me, it's the fact that like there's this whole setup of like, yes, we found your pets. Yes, we've contacted you that we found your pets, but you're going to wait until we can get whoever our, again, if this were real, the celebrity to come in and reunite you with them. It's like, you're telling me you've had him for a week because we couldn't get...
the schedule couldn't line up.
Bryce Harper was busy. Like,
if that wasn't the unbelievable part, the actors begin by claiming to have reunited other lost pets, such as a Russian dude and his pet grizzly bear, a child
Although that is true that grizzly bears are just cats in Russia.
Only the Dagestani bears. There's a great... I'll send you a video. It's so funny. Anyway.
2-3 years in Dagestan and forget.
A child and a hawk, and they even reunited someone with their lost octopus.
Well, the child and their hawk was reunited via Tony Hawk.
Oh, and I missed that.
And then they also literally said that the octopus almost choked the guy during like the return hug or whatever. Like, yeah, he almost killed him, but everything was fine. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, anyway, Deion Henley, if he wasn't already starting to think something was afoot, starts off with the promos. Here are some facts about lost animals. Did you know John Wayne Gacy and Jeffrey Dahmer both lost family pets at an early age? I swear, I really would like to get to the Sting and Darby Allin part, but I would be doing the listeners a disservice by not sharing what I have seen with my own eyes. After the promos, Dayan is brought into a different room where the fake animal handler is now covered in fake blood and crying that the snake has eaten the dog, after Dayan put it in the wrong box.
And she's like, you didn't look in the box? And it's like, no, he looked in the box. Like, you go back and look at the footage. He looked in the box.
He did look in the box. But you know what? This whole show is reeks of being awful. So
Well, hold on. Let me give you one more. Not the biggest snake guy, but my understanding is that snakes don't exactly rip their prey from limb to limb and have blood everywhere, more as opposed to they constrict them, then eat them whole with no blood. And she is covered in blood. Like, she looks like she just came out like that scene from Kicking and Screaming where they have to go help butcher the cow so the Italians can play.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like Dayan and the animal handler both pointing at each other, going at the same time, "You tell her. You tell her. You tell her." Well, who's gonna tell the kids? Well, the kids walk in, and it's time for that discussion to come into play. Dayan immediately throws the charity and animal handler under the bus and tells the kids what has happened with less empathy than when my wife told me that Lindsey Graham died.
Did she also click her heels together?
There was a jump up and click. Yes, I believe so. The little girl breaks into tears, and the brother proclaims, "My snake ate the dog? That's awesome! He must be, like, huge now."
Because, like, the cartoon imagining is always, like, the dog in the snake's belly, like, halfway down, and it's just, like, clearly shape of dog.
The scene breaks down, and Anthony Davis comes out. "Dayan, you just got played." Which apparently is, like, what he says. Like, you got... Anyway.
Instead of "you got punked" or whatever.
Dayan immediately says, "I thought so."
That's a smart guy right there to be like, "Oh, hey,
he's like,
something's funky here."
He's like, anyway, this show is so bad. I love it. Well, anyway, I'm immediately less excited as there are no dead pets and sad children, but I power through. The plan is for Sting and to find a raggedy old duffel bag that happens to contain $100,000 in it. But as soon as Sting picks up the money, a whole police squad will descend on them. Not sure why that would happen, but I didn't write this shit show. The plan doubles down on stupidity, as appears customary, as a hotel employee will lie to the police and blame them for some reason. And yes, the hotel lady is also the animal handler.
And I need to say one more thing, and I know he wasn't going to. The police pull up and they're like, "What's your name?" And Sting and Darby are both in full makeup, like ready to go. Like the whole thing was they were going to like a meet and greet.
Yeah.
And I know he wasn't going. I just so bad I want Sting to be like, "Sting, like look at I'm Sting." Like, oh, he's like Steve Borden.
Even Darby started giving a shoot name.
He was like, "Samuel."
Well, anyway, there's also a half-naked perp in the backseat of the squad car for some reason.
He was honestly the MVP. His interactions with Darby just made Darby so uncomfortable.
When he proclaimed that he peed a little?
Just a little bit.
Well,
we could be cellmates.
Anyway.
I'm partially naked. They're terrified of the male form in this town.
Let's see here. The cop lady, at some point, they get separated. Sting tries to get up and is tased. Awesome. Good spot. He's probably very used to that.
Yeah.
And then he
sells the hell out of it.
He one counts it, pops back up, hits the cop with the duffel bag of money, and runs off, leaving Darby, I'm sure, very, very confused. The police ask Darby, "What's wrong with your friend?" And Darby says, "I don't know. He's a man of the Lord." Anyway, Darby's now under arrest and completely flummoxed as to why his best friend, a well-off 67-year-old born-again Christian, would suddenly break bad over 100,000. The police give Darby two options.
Oh, this was fantastic.
Call Sting and bring him back, or two, get tased.
Oh, actually, there's a later one I want to talk about.
Which is really not much of an you mean I can do any crime and I just get tased one time? Anyway, of course, Darby calls Sting, and Sting, for some reason, proclaims, "Darby, I'm not coming back. You stole the money," which is A, not at all believable to the police, but B, thank God that Darby happened to be on speakerphone. Otherwise, I don't know how we would have proceeded to the next segment of the prank.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we kind of relied on him being on speakerphone, but that's fine.
They probably just cut it. Police probably like, put it on speakerphone.
Put it on speaker.
That's fine. Anyway,
Can we talk about how poorly dressed the cops are?
Oh, yeah. Like, they look like worst, like, the end of the night of a Halloween party. Like, that's how bad their uniforms and all are.
It's just baggy, and like any cop you see is either intensely like obese or just like the most ripped man you've ever seen in your life. There really is no middle ground. And you know, so it's like, okay, well, these guys are all just the older white guy sells it well. He's like, that's believable. He's believable.
are we not going to talk about what the hotel worker cleaning lady says?
Oh, I thought you were going to say the license
she's not on
plates
break?
next.
Oh, I didn't even see the license plate.
The law.
The law. Fantastic. Well, anyway, they call the maid hotel animal handler lady over and ask her if she's seen anything. She says, "Oh, yes, I see lots of things at this hotel. I see a lot of nudity because I'll come in to clean the room and the men will jump out and go, ah, gotcha." It is their fetish. Fetish?
No.
Which is frankly one of the funniest things ever, that in the middle of
A
this,
fetish is when you like sucking on toes.
she just, in the middle of all of this actress lady just decided to say fetish wrong. Is it actually fetish? What? That's the greatest decision. Whoever this lady is, I now love her. That's so good. Why would you say that? It's beautiful.
Well, no. And again, first the cops are like 3 times like, hey. She's like, I'm not on break. Hey, I'm not on break. I'm a police officer. I'm not on break.
I think she should have gotten tased. Well, anyway, Darby starts getting arrested. I believe he goes to call his dad when Sting comes out and
He's
says,
like FaceTiming somebody, yeah.
and says, you've been played. But you know what? I think we've all been played.
So apparently Sting is like, oh, I need to get back at Darby. Darby's a big prankster. I need to hear Darby's side of the story. What are these pranks that he's pulling on Sting, where Sting feels the need to bring in fake cops in a television show to rib Darby here?
I would love if it was just like the most innocent stuff ever. Like, you know, it's like,
Darby, did you put did you put sugar in my coffee?
like, right, something like that. Or it's like, right, just like moving his bag to the other side of the room or just like behind something. It's like, where's my goddamn bag? Hey, did you look over here?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine moving the desk 1/2 inch to the left. How did you pull this off?
Did you guys ever used to nugget people's backpacks in high school?
Well, we called it turtling, but yes.
Yes, you know,
Flipping them inside out?
flipping them inside out.
Yeah.
One time in History of the World, or World History 2. I don't know why I said History of the World Part 2. That's the movie.
Part 2 is a TV show.
Part 2 is the TV show. Thank you. I took my friend's backpack, flipped it inside out, and then I took all of the stuff that was at the bottom of the bag, all of like the little paper shreds and like, you know, all the little accoutrement stuff, detritus, and I threw that into the flipped in.
You are such a bastard.
Yeah. No, that's something you would do too.
See, people always think that I love pulling a joke, but like I always know there's a line where it's a joke and then it just becomes like a little mean and it's like this actually sucks.
Inside out, you know.
Like that's funny. But now you're gonna throw all the shit in there and get all the stuff like
I'm not
super
gonna clean
dirty
the
and
backpack
all.
for him.
You don't have to clean the backpack. You don't have to pick up all the outside stuff and dump it on the inside.
I bet Darby Allin did some truly horrendous things, like gave him cholera blankets, like to the Indians.
Native Americans, please.
Jesus. Now that's what I call a flagrant foul.
That's a technical foul.
I will tee you up for that. I will tee you up for you. That's like what?
American Indian.
Well, speaking of teas, maybe we take a time out here and come back for some more wrestling news here on The C Show. Welcome back to The C Show. We are here to talk some AEW, some overall wrestling news, and who would have guessed a surprise from Jared when the time comes. And as the one in charge, that time is now. Jared, what you got for us?
Ba-da-ba.
He's locking in.
No, I just had something real simple actually today. It's not even a surprise. I don't know why you phrased it like that. I didn't say anything like that. But anyway, I've been watching so much Darby Allin, watching him freak out about pranks and stuff.
About potentially being arrested.
And I am excited to see him fight Kevin Knight for the championship. And I just want to say, what are we thinking? Obviously Kevin Knight broke bad by stomping out Darby at the end of his title run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now what? They're finally going to get a chance at each other. Now Kevin's got a title, just defended it on Dynamite last week, and I think he's got a fight scheduled for next week, or is that going to be at the pay-per-view?
He's got one scheduled for the pay-per-view right now.
All right, what do we think? Will Darby take it back? Should we go a little F you to Kevin Knight, or will Kevin Knight retain?
That is actually, I apologize, that is on the combined Dynamite Collision, Darby Allin versus Kevin Knight.
Well, and Kevin Knight already has a match set up with Kenny Omega as well, right? So it would be very interesting for him to lose it, right? Kind of make a run at Kenny here. I'd be very hard pressed to see them, one, give Kenny a reign that short, two, not have Kenny versus Will at All In. Like, that would be bananas. But, so there is kind of space for him to lose it and reinvent himself. This week, we also did get Speedball Mike Bailey coming up to him saying, hey, I don't want trouble. When you're ready to be like, yeah, I effed this up, and say sorry, like, we're here.
I love Speedball's shirt with the gold accents. I was like, ooh, Speedball.
Speedball dresses so well. I mean, and by that I only mean that shirt and the Belatro shorts.
The Belatro ring gear. I also like when I like it when he wears
his feet.
When he wears like that
his toes.
That like tan suit that's sort of like Eastern inspired. But moving on.
Yeah, no, I was just kidding. Let's play for my. No, I'm kidding. There you go, Connor. I talked about wrestling. He's so pissed off right now.
Oh, I'm not. I've never been calmer, cooler, or more collected. Now, speaking of not calm, cool, or collected, we have a real War of the Worlds brewing between the dogs and
the Bang Bang Gang.
Oh, duh. Like, I knew it was them, and I'm like, BBG.
Yeah, sorry.
Baby girl.
So we saw, last week at the dogs the Bang Bang Gang at Angels of Assisi, which is a shelter, rescue, adoption place in Roanoke, Virginia. Roanoke, cool place. Check it out sometime. There's a cool pinball museum there. Highly recommend. Yeah, see, now I got you.
All right, you got me.
Pinball museum. And some pretty good Mexican food, too. Not going to lie.
Ooh, now you got me.
Yeah, see? But they actually named 2 dogs. So I posted one of them in the Discord. I believe the pit mix was named after Clark Connors. There was a Jack Russell Terrier mix that was named after David Finlay, of course. And now the dogs are coming on TV, a black background, simple lighting, and just saying, the Bang Bang Gang aren't who they say they are. Juice Robinson is an uncredited medical practitioner. Ace Austin's haircut is problematic, which I don't get at all.
That was so funny.
The Guns being generational misogynists, now that's truly an issue there. We gotta work on that. But I think Suck It can be for everybody. It's not,
I like telling people to suck my butt.
Yeah, that one's good too. Yeah.
Everyone's got a butt.
The Bang Bang Gang also have premiered the Bang Bang Lounge, and they have something for Clark Connors to stick his red rocket into. It's Jay White, and Jay White will face Clark Connors coming up at this Dynamite Collision that we talked about earlier.
You know what? Nope, I'm just going to leave that there. Nah, stick it in Jay White? What? What I do have to say is I do love...
What's a red rocket?
When Russia goes to space.
Oh. Good one.
It's a thing Snake eats.
The only other thing I will say about that is I did like them finishing with guns down. I love a good competing chant. So if people actually get behind them and they go at it and we hear guns up, guns down, I'm with it. I'm with it.
No, I think it's fun.
And then I wanted to talk about something that happened this weekend at FanFest.
Fanatics Fan Fest, wasn't it?
They didn't pay us. I don't care. So
Michael Rubin's in the Epstein files too. So
color me surprised.
Mm-hmm.
So Penta was walking around at the fan.
Sorry. Would that color be white? Because of the white party.
So Penta was walking around FanFest without his mask, and there was a streamer doing, I forget what they call it, the IRL stream.
Yeah,
as he's going around.
Which has become really popular now, which I don't know if I like.
Well, another thing, so there's people that do like driving streams and like things like that. Like one person just got jammed up for like doing one and almost causing an accident. It's whatever. So this streamer, Neon N30N, was walking through, had his camera out, and passes Penta. And basically Penta like immediately like stops, basically like steps behind him with the camera and is like, hey, like I need you to delete that footage. Like I wear a mask. And the guy apologized. And
this is, of course, Pentagon Jr., the masked luchador from WWE.
Yeah, current Intercontinental Champion. And he was like, yeah, okay. And he apologized a whole lot. And the thing is, I'm not sure if he actually deleted the video. I don't know if this was from people just pulling the live. Because again, once it's live, people can. Exactly. Like, so there's like, pictures. So like the damage is already done there, which also really sucks. But it kind of led me to like a couple different questions. I just kind of want to get your guys' thought and take on here. Because my first thing is like, well, if you're Penta and you're at FanFest, why aren't you in your mask? Like, right?
Good point.
Like, you could get caught in the back of photos, people taking videos, people are doing all kinds of signings and stuff. People are always doing weird content. So I was a little surprised he wasn't wearing his mask in the first place.
I'm a little surprised as well.
I don't understand this at all. Because if you wanted people to know you were Penta, wear the mask. And if you don't want people to know that you're Penta, don't bring it up.
Well, it looked like that he still had like the face paint, because at the bottom of his mask you can't. I believe watching it looked like that was still like all white.
Would people have just known it was him automatically?
I've seen people take pictures of him not wearing a mask either. Like the picture that I've seen of Penta is like him renting a car, and I was like, yo, that's fucked up.
Yeah, people are already pretty aware.
Because in Mexican culture, the masked luchador, their background it's all about the character. They don't talk about their background. They don't talk about where they're from, who they are, their family, et cetera, et cetera. To be unmasked as a luchador is a great disgrace.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like it's this really weird place where it's like, so I'm also not a fan of the IRL streams. And yes, I get you can, record anywhere in public and yada, yada, yada. But like... And it's just kind of a mix for me of like, I don't like those. Yes, they can do them. I'm confused why Penta wasn't wearing his mask. Like, again, I wish they were better able to kind of suppress these photos and all for him. Like, right, I don't blame him. Like, dude, it's your, it's your job. It's whatever. Like, you don't have to be at 24/7. And like, we even saw, like, we talked maybe a month ago now, there's like a picture of him. I think it was Rey Mysterio and Rey Fenix, right? And they all took the picture, right? Because they're in the airport. Obviously, they can't wear their masks, right? Doing like the bandana, right? Like, taking their hand and covering from their nose down. So like, it's obviously important to him that how he's seen. So that confuses me a little bit. And again, I just want to know if you guys had any other comments, kind of anything you were thinking of about this. Again, whether it's more about the streaming, whether it's about luchadors in general, just kind of anything to tie this up.
I do. I always hate it when in any show they try to demask someone, even if it's like the most heel in existence. I'm like, you don't do that. But in real life, if you really, if it's so important to you, then cultivate that mystique. Don't come out. Don't wear any makeup. Wear a different mask. I don't know. There's so many options to not appear. Some certain celebrities definitely have it worse. Not that it's a competition. I feel bad for him, but at the same time, I don't like. I'm not angry at anyone else for sure.
It just feels like bad coordination.
Well, and actually, that's something very interesting that I only thought of now, Jared, because you said it. You were like, don't say you're Penta. And I'm like, but I wonder how many people watching the live stream, like, right, again, they're watching this guy. How many of them were actually wrestling fans who would know Penta, right? If he did just cross through and never turn back, people might have been like, was that Penta? And we never have confirmation.
No, nobody would ever know.
So you know what? That's really interesting as well.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, it's a live stream. You're there and you're gone. If you went up to the camera and brought yourself into frame, like you're making it. But hey, you know
I think that's a really good point. It's good to have a diversity of opinions.
Yeah, and as Charlie said, right, the mask is everything to luchadors, right? Again, anytime they try and unmask wrestlers, whether it is like Thekla and Starlight Kid, whether it's way back in WCW with Rey Mysterio and they made him do it, and that was just egregious. Like, it's so important to them personally, culturally.
And Pentagon is Penta is a second generation Pentagon, because there was a Pentagon before him in the 80s and 90s, and he inherited the character and started performing, because he performed as a different character beforehand. So I think Penta is thinking about sort of his mask and his culture, and maybe he gave himself away by saying like, "Oh, yo, I'm this guy. You got to delete this footage and everything." And then also it's on Neon's part as well to like, okay, if this is like a backstage area, maybe we shouldn't be streaming back here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if it was a backstage area,
and I
or
guess
they were
like
just
part of
walking
it
the
is
floor.
like fanatics being like, "Oh, hey, like yeah, you can stream here, and here," but that's also on them as well as like the host, and being like, because they give this guy a media pass to be like, okay, yes, you can bring your camera in here, you can bring your streaming gear, because those IRL streaming rigs aren't just a camera and a power bank. It's a phone, it's a mobile hotspot, so you can have your own dedicated Wi-Fi network, so that you're running your own stream on there through there. You're not relying on a 5G network or something like that, where you're gonna have gaps in the data. It's the microphones. It's probably it could potentially be a full other camera plugged into the phone, giving that straight video feed into the phone. So they obviously give this guy a media pass, and like also like a heads up of like, hey, you should avoid these people if possible. I've been given that at events and stuff, like, hey, like at certain shows, like, hey, these people have TV contracts, so you can't talk to them. And it's like, okay, that's fine. Like, let me know ahead of time. Like, give me the boundaries. But yeah, I feel like a lot of things these days, there's a lot of fingers to point at, and nobody's right, nobody's wrong, which sucks.
Yeah, right. It'd always be nice to kind of be able to point at one person and be like, they were wrong, this and that. And, it's just another thing how the world keeps changing, like, right, a big festival like this, now there's live streamers all over the place, right, and it's not going to get any better. Like, privacy is getting farther and farther by the wayside, right, and they're doing more events and seeing more people, but again, like, right, what you can do is, right, don't go out looking for those things. Plenty of people now are looking up, Penta without the mask.
Don't go outside. It's terrible
also
out
don't go
there.
outside.
I mean, the air quality the past few days.
But look, everyone, if you want to see my face, you're welcome to. And if you want to see more than my face, hit me up on the Discord.
I think what we can all, what I've learned in wrestling, and I've talked about this on other podcasts, is kayfabe has allowed me to like access certain levels of joy that I thought I had forgotten how to access. And like, yeah, wrestling is fake, but I'm totally bought in. Or wrestling is scripted, but I'm totally bought in on a Hangman match. And like Kenny versus MJF, that was a fucking thriller. Like, yeah, no, it's I know that the end result is created, and we all know that we're reaching a conclusion already forged, but the way how they get you, they hook you. That's the key there.
Yeah, it's not surprising. Every TV show you've ever watched is fake.
Wait, what?
Pretty much.
What about 60 Minutes?
Fake.
Oh no!
Well, look.
Game of Thrones, that also actually happened. But everything else.
Well, whether it's wrestling, whether it's Game of Thrones, whether it's foul play, whether it's whatever the hell we get ourselves into, we'll be here and we'll be talking about it. I promise you that. Here on The C Show.
Welcome back to The C Show. We're talking some upcoming AEW action. We've got, first of all, combined Dynamite and Collision on Wednesday night, and then we've got AEW Redemption in Montreal on the 26th on Sunday night. Tony Schiavone pointed it out, but they're starting earlier for the pay-per-view this month in July. It'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Not early enough.
listen, we could go for another hour maybe. But that means pre-show will start probably at 6 p.m., all that good stuff. But getting on with Dynamite and Collision, first off, we've got the TNT Championship, Darby Allin versus Kevin Knight. We talked about that at length earlier. So we'll just get into Kenny, Will Ospreay, and Jon Moxley versus the Don Callis family. Brian Cage, Hechicero, and Jake Doyle. Listen, we got Will Ospreay being forced to team up here with the Death Riders. You know, is this going to work out for Will and with the Riders, or will the Don Callis family overcome them?
Super interesting. I love when they have these, right, what they used to call like strange bedfellow matches, right, where it's two guys they're going to face for the title, or two guys that are already in a beef, right, wrestling with each other. So the fact that it's going to be, you know, Kenny and Will Ospreay together, we're going to see any animosity there. They're going to be any of the classic wrestling confusions. I meant to hit him, but he ducked, and I don't go back and watch the show, so I think you just hit me.
Yeah, it's a really cool like concept. I'm excited to see it, and I'm excited to watch more of Brian Cage. Shout out to the Body Guy champion,
dude. He's insane.
We've also got Clark Connors versus Jay White. Of course, Clark Connors sticking his Red Rocket here into the match against Jay White. Jay White, I haven't seen Jay White perform yet. I'm very excited about this. I think, you know, from what I've heard, he's one of the aces of AEW, one of the big guys, the big names, especially before his injury last year. Your guys' thoughts?
I just like the Red Rocket bit. So for that, I'm out.
Yeah, that does mean... You know what, never mind. I'm out.
In the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship, we've got the Divine Dominion versus the Sisters of Sin in a no disqualifications match. Hell yeah.
Good versus evil.
Now, this really interests me for a lot of reasons, right? One, at first we were like, what are they doing with Sisters of Sin, especially with Sky Blue? Like, it seemed like they were kind of getting pushed more and more out. So it's super interesting for them to have this match, right? We've seen Divine Dominion look a little human in their past couple matches, but again, the idea of no DQ, right, leads to so many leveling factors, right? Whether it's, you know, whether it's just weapons, whether it's Thekla or someone else comes to help, like there's so many ways to level the playing field that even if it is, you know, on paper you look at it, it seems like an impossible matchup for the Sisters of Sin. That's like they're always known to have tricks up their sleeves, at least one or two or three.
So the kendo stick.
So this could be quite a way, because I was always wondering, like, how are you going to end Divine Dominion's title reign and have it not be like a letdown? This could be one. This could be a way out.
What a way to lead up to a pay-per-view by having a pay-per-view level match on the Wednesday. This is going to be awesome.
AEW loves to do that.
Yeah,
AEW
I know.
Loves to do
my
that.
favorite thing.
And what a great segue here into Redemption. It is the first AEW pay-per-view in the month of July, and will also be the first AEW pay-per-view event at La Belle Centre in Montreal. That is, of course, where the Canadians play, La Habs, of course. First match here on the card, we've got Thekla versus Willow Nightingale in a singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship.
I'm excited. Like, Thekla's been going for a little bit. Willow's coming back. They could put it on Willow. Again, she had to vacate her TNT title. TBS title when she got hurt. So it wouldn't surprise me if they wanted to come back and put a belt on her right away. And then I am definitely more interested in Willow and Monet at All In than Monet and Thekla. Again, I don't know if they'll exactly pull the trigger on this, but that's what I would love to see for All In. So I'm gonna put it all on Willow and hope that it comes out our way.
Willow all the way.
We've also got Mark Davis versus Andrade El Idolo for the AEW National Championship.
We're pushing Andrade. It's on. It's all the Don Callis
How
family
you know?
to the moon.
How you know?
I honestly forgot Mark Davis had a belt.
How you know?
So Andrade, you know, there's a line in the movie The Odyssey where somebody says, "How you know?" And I laughed, and I don't think anyone else understood why remotely.
I have one last question for you guys. How you know? We've also got Kenny Omega versus Kevin Knight in a singles match for the AEW World Championship. As we mentioned earlier, I don't think they're going to take the belt off. I think Connor mentioned it earlier, but they're not going to give Kenny that short of reign with the title. And Jet 2 belts, I feel like is too premature yet. You know, this is a fun gimmick. You know, let him work for it.
And again, I think it'd be very interesting if Kevin does happen to lose his title to Darby Allin, right? Won the gymnastics. He'll talk himself to of, it doesn't matter, I can still win the big one, right? What Don Callis will have to say after it. So whether he wins that or not, and the quest is Jet 2 belts, or again, to prove that he's still a guy after losing to Darby Allin, there's going to be a lot of good stuff there.
Kevin Knight turns into Jet no belts. Don Callis kicks him out of the family. Kevin Knight comes crawling back.
The Painmaker, Chris Jericho versus Tommaso Ciampa in a no-holds-barred match. The Painmaker is a character that Chris Jericho debuted on AEW a few years ago. He's performed in New Japan as the character. I don't get it. I know Connor doesn't get it or like it.
Well, it's because he inflicts pain on all the viewership.
Wonderful.
It's painful to watch.
Moving on, Kyle Fletcher versus Bandito in a singles match for the AEW International Championship. I think this will really be a test for Bandito against Fletcher. I'm very excited about it. Do I think Bandito wins the International Championship? No, unfortunately not. I think Fletcher's going to go on a run with this one for a while.
I feel very similar. I feel like it would be hard, but I would love for them to put a AEW belt on Bandito. I wonder if there's a world where Don Callis' family tries to interfere. It doesn't work. Brody comes out, interferes, and then, maybe Bandito can sneak in there, and then maybe there's a rematch for them down the line at All In or wherever else.
Perhaps. Cage and Cope will face the Death Riders, Claudio and Pac, for the AEW World Tag Team Championship.
I said this off mic earlier, but I love how Cope and Cage are just like, whatever, any two Death Riders,
yeah.
right? This week it was Garcia and Yuta.
Yes.
And then right now they're taking on...
Which was a fun match,
It
by the
was
way.
good.
Fun match.
Claudio and Pac, they're just like, we don't care. Like, I have to bet, right, again, kind of long view in the room. They're going to retain, right, at some point, right, again, the 90 days should be counting down, the New Day or whatever they will be in AEW are coming, and I bet they'll try and push that right away as a thing to get them popping.
That would be very smart. In another tag team match, we've got the Death Riders, Jon Moxley and Will Ospreay facing off against the Young Bucks. The Bucks and Moxley faced off this week on television. The Bucks talking about how they faced off many times. They want to keep facing off as they get ready to go for the World Tag Team Championship here. And again, Ospreay as a Death Rider. It kind of came subtly. And with the handing off of the patch, we're here. I'm surprised that we don't have the musical sting for Ospreay yet, coming before his theme. I think this is where we're going to see it for the first time.
That would be awesome. I would definitely love. I know you've been waiting on that for a long time. This really interests me, man. Like the Young Bucks are still good. Like again, they ain't that young anymore. They're still damn good. The stuff they can do with Will, and again, the thing that I'm sure Moxley is willing to take and sell. It's gonna be so good.
And last but certainly not least on the card here, we've got Hikaru Shida versus Maya World for the AEW TBS Championship. I think this is exciting. Maya World's had a great start, the great start to the year, coming in to the Owen Hart Championship or the Owen Hart Tournament, and then as well as her opportunities over the past couple of months here in AEW. It's the world's in front of her. I don't think she gets out of this one unscathed, though. Shida will punish her.
My crystal ball over here is telling me that Statlander will do something to cause Shida the match, because then Maya World finally gets that kind of next step, that next push that she that she deserves after literally how she did in the Owen and how everything else has been going, right? That also lets you set up a super grudge match between Stat and Sheeta, again, for All In, again, something along the lines of probably Last Woman Standing, No Holds Bar, something of that sort. But I think that's where the most meat on the bone is here.
The most meat on the bone, absolutely. We'll tune in next week for the meat on the bone, and as we bite into Redemption in Montreal. We got some cool stuff coming up over the next few weeks, so stay tuned. This is The C Show. Of course you like The C Show. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share it with your friends. Support the show directly at ko-fi.com/cshowpod. $5 a month gets you access to the Discord and the C Show archive, plus priority for topic research. Thanks to supporter Stu for being our first member. Follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube at CShowPod. Have a question for the boys? Send an email, cshowpod@gmail.com. Thanks to our friends Amir, Patrick, and Justin for their assistance. The C Show is a production of 832 Media. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll be back next week.
Do you like big meaty bones? Well, stick around for The C Show.
Cat.
4606.